We're back. That's right. Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at the Chateau de Mars Hill studio from Florida. Well, not for me, not for yours truly. I'm the, west side, left armpit of Indiana, known as Indianapolis, not in sunny Florida. So true, Johnny Longfeather. Yeah, that's what we're going to talk about today, Drew. Everybody, what a day. It was hot. It's about to storm right now over here. A lot of crazy things that happened today. But let's start out with the first thing. All right, I got a loaded docket. All right, first and foremost, this is going to be let's make fun of everybody's show because I think it's time to call everybody out. A lot of mogging. We're going to be doing it at all. Someone is going to cry by the end of this. It's probably going to be Johnny Waltz. So let's get into it. Kalshi, right? Degens, right? Let's put money where the mouth is. Let's put money where we can make some money. Let's not jump off of parking garages that are right below a gambling outfit. I'm just saying, all right? So if I were you, I would start putting money on whoever you feel like losing money on. Right now, Kalshi, if you guys don't know, a couple of weeks ago, yeah, I'm not literally Johnny Longfeather. So a few weeks ago, when Max Engling got when he announced that he was running for office, Andrew Ireland, maybe king of the trust chart, he talked about it's like, hey, look, Max Engling starting off at like 80-something%, whatever it was, and then it's just been fluctuating, right? But the only person that has not raised up or fluctuated at all was Jamie Reitenhauer. That's right, Jehovah Jamie. That's right, our personal mulatto priestess. She was at 0.5% this entire time. Today, that changed. She got to 4% today. Crazy, right? And now she's above Diego Morales, and now it dropped 5.9%, which is bananas, I might add. Hold on, let's see if my all right, there we go. Kind of crazy. Shelton is at 9.9, and then Engling is staying strong at 84%. He dropped off at 75. I do not know who the degen is that is decided that they are going to start pumping money into Jamie Reitenhauer. It doesn't make any sense at all. She refuses to come to the debates, the town halls that everybody is going to. But somehow someone's saying, you know what? I'm going to put money into this crazy broad. I thought it was funny. I was planning on putting money. Notice the date when Max spiked, May 20th. Yeah, I mean it's all interesting. I mean June 7th, 83%. He's still at 83.9. Yeah, I mean it's gonna be fluctuating. I mean he dropped off like a week after at 75%. Look at that spike from Shelton, though, on what is it, a couple of days ago. Yeah, June 7th. He was at a peak at 14.8%. That's crazy. Shelton at one point was at 91%. Someone must have put a ton of money onto Shelton. I think it's funny. But anyway, let's move on. Second off, rip to Mr. French Toast from Ethan Hatcher's cat. I know you guys think this is kind of lame, but coming from a guy who has seen a lot of cats die, it does break my heart for Ethan Hatcher. When I become mayor of Indianapolis, he will be my cat czar. Drew will be my dog czar. So Ethan Hatcher, welcome. You will be my cat czar. Welcome to the Indy Reporter administration. All right, so we all know about the Bears, right? They said that they are moving forward, coming to Hammond, Indiana, not the Hammond Bears, not the Indiana Bears. They will be the Chicago Bears, which we all know because there are multiple teams out there that that they are not in the city that they announced themselves to be. I mean, the Giants, the Jets, they both play in Jersey. The 49ers, they play in Santa Clara. Even the Chiefs are moving. The Redskins, aka the Commies, aka the Commanders, aka Washington football team, they don't even play in DC. They're playing like Virginia or something. So last night, that piece of shit, Tom McDermott Jr., he was at the city council meeting, I guess, giving his report. And the first thing they talked about was the Bears. And this is what I love. It shows like how cucked Mike Braun is. Because McDermott even brought it up. He's like, I made a viral tweet basically criticizing Mike Braun. And then what happens with that? I get a football team. It's like, we can just keep politics out of it. Really? How did that happen? Wait a minute. Hold on. How did that can't be right? Cucked. Oh, okay. That's what I thought. That was my bad. I don't care. So anyway, so McDermott is going to be able to get a $1 billion sports franchise. The taxes are going to be going up. Now, I know there's all dispute of like, what do you mean? Our taxes aren't going to go up. The ticket tax is going up. The food and beverage tax is going up. The hotel tax, the innkeeper's tax is going up. It's going to be happening in Lake and Porter County. And also the toll road lease is going to be changing so they can have all that infrastructure. And even Tom McDermott said that Governor Braun is offering billions of dollars to the Bears. Okay. So what my biggest question is, which I think all of yours should be, thank you, Brad, is, does this mean we don't have to pay for toll roads anymore? Because that's all I care about. We keep talking about, it's like, we don't have the money for the infrastructure to repair these roads. So we're going to have toll roads. Oh, but we're okay with giving billions of dollars of incentives over to the Bears and to help with their infrastructure for their stadium. I thought it was crazy, though. I'm already seeing it, by the way. I'm seeing the vision. I'm seeing the ideas because this has happened before. And I'm talking about the acreage. I'm talking about the amount of property that Hammond is going to buy or even the state is going to buy. I think this is going to be a leap on steroids. And this is what I mean. He was asked, like, how many acres is this going to be by one of the city councilmen? And he said, well, the stadium itself will require at least 60 acres. All right, so that means just the stadium. But they're planning on having 300 acres when accounting for surrounding mixed-use development. We know what that means. That means they want something similar to Wrigleyville. They want something that is similar to the Patriots. They want to have their entertainment district, basically. So what that means is they are going to be, you know what? Let me just look it up, all right? Because I think 300 acres is quite a bunch of... I talked about this last week. Like, I don't understand how they even have the room. They're going to have to fill in portions of Wolf Lake. Right here, Wolf Lake is literally on a lake. And they were talking about... I think I talked about this on Saturday. And they had... I think that's the pavilion. Wherever the pavilion is at. I shouldn't... Oh, there it is. Like, you're talking about this amount, right? I don't know how, and it's right next to a residential area. So I don't know how you're going to have any kind of entertainment district unless you're like tearing. There's a literal electric company right there. Okay. There's lot 8 of BP refinery. Where exactly are you going to expand? Now, they said that they are still doing a site selection. So this may not even be the spot. Here's the other problem. There's a ton of residential stuff over here. So what does that mean when they put the Bears Stadium over there? That means everybody's property taxes are going to go up. Why? Because now your value is worth more. So therefore, your property taxes go up. 2 + 2 = 4. This is not apples and bowling balls. All right, people. This is, you will totally get screwed because these $1 billion franchise that are getting billions of dollars of tax incentives that we're going to have to change the toll road lease so we can have the highway move a little bit easier over here. If you guys don't know what's going on, basically what's going to happen now that they are agreeing with this, Ducky in the chat, let's go. Oh yeah, everybody in the chat. Thor's in the chat, Special Powers in the chat, Drew's in the chat, Brad's in the chat, Jimmy's in the chat. We're back. Yeah. And yes, Indy reporter from air. So what's going to end up happening with the toll road lease is they are going, basically the owners of the toll road, because we lease off of it. Oh, and by the way, did you know that the 2008 toll road lease money goes to I think it's like an investor firm, basically like an Elevate Ventures, venture capitalist. Did you guys know that? So they're going to change the toll road lease. And what's going to happen is over 3 years, we're going to get a massive payout. And that's going to be doing the infrastructure to help out. the Bears. In exchange for that, that means they can change the toll road cost twice a year instead of once a year. So that means your toll roads are going to be costing more for you twice a year instead of once a year. And that's up to them. That was the negotiation part of that Stadium Authority bill. So, it's totally over. I mean, rip Northwest Indiana. You guys are going to be more Chicago. And you guys forget too. When I lived in the region, there are a lot of people that were working in Illinois but living in Indiana, but they brought in their Illinois politics because for some reason they couldn't put 2 and 2 together because that equals 5 in their tiny little pea brain. That when you come over here and you have the same politics, the same thing that you're moving from becomes that. So, hey, you know what? If I take a big old dookie right on my front lawn and say, I've taken so many dookies on my front lawn and I want to be away from all the dookies that I put on my front lawn, I'm going to go to a different yard and hopefully I don't start. And they automatically start taking dookies in the front yard. And that's exactly what all these people are doing when they come to the region. It's never good. I want some jerk off where it's like, oh, you know what? Republicans over in the 219 area code, they were never voting for Republicans. I bet some Republicans switch over. Spoiler alert, that's not going to happen. Okay. And look at Chicago right now. There's no way that anybody would say, hey, you know what? I cured cancer, but I'm a Republican. Vote for me. They're mad. Shit. No, man. We're going to be voting Democrat from here on out. Vote Bloom no matter who, even if it's got a poo in the sock. That's what's going to be happening. Yeah, where is the poly purebred? That's a good question. Disappearing. But, maybe the Madden curse will continue and then the Bears just start turning into a crap team, that's exactly what I'm hoping for. I hope when they come to Indiana, they turn into the worst possible team. I will laugh my ass off when they turn into the Browns, basically. I cannot wait for that to happen. All right, moving on. For all you weed bros out there, Tony Isa, who's a state rep, I'm gonna rage bait some of you guys right now. So he is against the marijuana, the electric lettuce, and he's saying, "Hey, you know what? Money is one thing, but the health of our family and our future is more important." He said, "Too often, legalization advocates focus on the dollars coming in while ignoring the dollars going out and the human cost that cannot be measured on a balance sheet." And, he goes over some of them. And, of course, all these low emotional, intelligent people are just go off the same thing. But alcohol, what's more dangerous, alcohol or cannabis? Just spouting pure ignorance. How much is pharma paying you, crook? Definitely needs to be voted out of office. He's going to have to find a new job. Yeah. Or here's an idea. Don't abuse anything. If we were allowed to shame fat people again, maybe I would think about legalizing weed because shaming people is cool. Okay. Shaming people is awesome, especially fat people. We need to start shaming fat people again. We need to start shaming the degenerates that put a massive amounts of money on Jamie so she gets to 4%. If we could bring back shaming, we would be so back. So driving while drinking is tolerated. No, it's not, retard. It's not. In fact, abuse is not tolerated, retard. How about that? How about we start making fun of people that constantly have to be inebriated to go through life? What about that? Boy, wouldn't that be something? But, something else that comes to, all right, your rage bait's done. Let's talk about blacks. So South Bend decided to have a reparation study, a justice commission. Oh, actually, hold on. You guys are going to love this. This is going to be so much clippable stuff now in South Bend. Oh, man, you guys are going to love this crap. South Bend reparations report, son. Thor, we don't need weed. It stinks, and I don't need to smell weed. Based Thor based. Yeah, actually, where the hell is it? For some reason, I can't find it. They must have hid it on me. Hold on, let me find it real quick. So South Bend decided to have a reparations report, taxpayer funded, of course, and there it is. Here we go. the recommendations off of it from it is exactly what you would expect. All right, let's look at economic employment opportunity. Strengthen the economic equity by increasing contracts and routine purchasing with local Black-owned businesses. Hey, it doesn't matter if you have to pay 3 times as much for the same thing that you get from a regular business. You need to buy it because it's from Blacks. Promote fair hiring by eliminating criminal history questions. Hey, guess what, child rapist? Hey, we're going to hire you. Hey, murderer. Hey, fraudster. Hey, we got to make sure that we have the affirmative action quotas taken care of. We're going to hire you right now. And I like within a year, you got to create the young wealth education, the trade career access, leadership advancement, invest in Black businesses, entrepreneur. Why does this all have to be government funded? That's what I would like to know. Why does daddy government have to come in there and teach you how to live your life? You don't, unless you're dumb. I like this one. The immediate for education, free GED, son. Hey, listen, listen. I totally encourage people to go get their GED if they have never gotten one. However, it should not be taxpayer funded. I have to deal with potholes, and I know I'm going to tell you the spin on it. They're going to say, hey, if they get their GED, they're going to go get a job, and then that tax money will return so they can fix the potholes. And I'm just like, are you really expecting these people to go get a job? Really? They don't even they're too lazy to go get a GED. How much does it cost to get a GED? Skipping them as taxpayer funded. Hold on. Cost for GED. What is it? I would literally like to know what it is. Dude, GED costs vary by state. In Florida, it's $40. All right. If you can't go spend $100 on getting a GED, you're just not going to make it, son. Listen. I had to hold back there for a second. Listen, buddy, I know that your dad went out to go get some milk or some Marlboros, maybe a pack of Black and Milds, and I'm going to teach you how to do it, son. Gives pat on top of head. Recruit and hire more Black teachers. Dude, really? Why? At this point, like, I think those robots would be better than if we need to have urban teacher robots. That's what we need to do. All right, quick plan for the Indie Reporter administration. For IPS, we are going to hire Ebonics robots is what we're going to do. Dude, I bet John is freaking out so bad right now because it's over multiple platforms. It's like, can you believe what Whitty's saying right now? He's saying hire Ebonics robots right now. Listen, I am totally cool if you find some clankers that speak in Ebonics. Hooked on Ebonics, that's for me. All right, so the housing, of course, is it's actually pretty vanilla. You know, for like the Black programs, it's surprisingly vanilla. We need to have some down payment assistance. Hey, taxpayers, we need to have more Black people to own homes. Give them money. That's basically what this all comes down to. Also invest in Black maternal and infant health. Dude, let me show you guys something. Oh, I can't show it to you. No, I can't show it to you because it's the Tuesday show. I can't show it to you. That's too bad. Anyway, go find Richard Valentine and go find that, and you'll know what I'm talking about. That people cannot see how stupid such a report. It is so dumb. And apparently, what I was told is that it was like introduced and like run by some like white dude, probably like the same white dudes who tell us that we all need to learn Haitian. Do you guys know about that? There's a Peru, Indiana councilman who's like, hey, maybe all these Haitians that are coming to Peru, maybe we just need to learn Haitian. And everybody's like throwing tomatoes at him and throwing vegetables, like, boo this man, what are you talking about? Yeah, exactly. He needs to be deported by catapult. First one up. We need more Black health providers. Dude, have you guys seen the total CIA op with the pineapples being soaked in Kool-Aid? I mean, this is like what I was talking about. I know Lucy likes to talk about the war on drugs and like, oh, look at all the crack that was introduced into black neighborhoods. Dude, let me tell you what, no one put a gun to their head and be like, you better smoke this crack. Nobody did that. Just like the whole like, hey, maybe the pineapples and Kool-Aid I can't, because in a couple of years there's going to have a study like massive increase in diabetes in the Black community, and you're like, gee, I wonder why. Anyway, Black activities. All right, so yesterday, Max Engling, Secretary of State candidate, had a delegate get together. Of course, yours truly is banned from everything. I don't mean that. I'm not embellishing that at all. I'm telling you, literally, I am on a list, and I am not allowed to go to these events. I asked, by the way, nicely if I could be there. I just wanted to go over there and report it, get some footage, get some sound bites, and yeah, maybe. Hey, maybe. John, maybe. Listen, I know what they're up to, all right? I know exactly what they're up to, and it's not good. I'm gonna be really pissed off if I paid for a hotel for nothing. Anyway, JD Thomas, Phil Clay. No, listen, I like Phil Clay now. All right. Me and Phil Clay have a really good relationship now. I will formally apologize for being an asshole. I should have never been an asshole to Phil Clay, and I actually feel like, literally, like, not joking around, I feel bad about it. I shouldn't have been so mean to a Phil Clay. And listen, me apologizing is, if you ask anybody, I rarely apologize. So when I do it, especially publicly, it means something. So Phil Clay is good in my book. And Ireland was there. Yeah, it is funny, isn't it? All right, so Ireland was there too. Yeah, Phil Clay is a good guy. Yeah, I was a total asshole. I'm happy for him where he's at now. Maybe I go to a Jamie event. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe if Jamie. No, you know what? Let me show you guys something about Jamie Reitenhauer. What the fuck her name is. There it is. Yeah. Look, she has me blocked on Facebook, and she has me blocked on Twitter. Look, she has Jamie for Indiana has Indie Reporter blocked on Twitter and on Facebook and on my personal Facebook too. I'm pretty sure I'm not personal, but definitely Indie Reporter. She is an absolute clown. She should not be running for Secretary of State. And I feel bad for all the money that she's, scammed, in my opinion, that all the church moms gave to her. They gave her, over $15,000 to run for Secretary of State. What the fuck is an apology? I know, right, Brad? Tommy in the chat, let's go. I know. That's what I mean. When I make an apology, it means something because there are so very few for me. I can only think like in the last couple of years, and there's like a handful of times where I've actually apologized for something. Because most of the time, listen, I'm pretty honest. I'm awesome. Listen, I'm the best. Yours truly doesn't need to apologize for anything. Normally, she refused to come on the mouth. Oh, really? Really? That's interesting, John. That's very. And as far as I know, all of like the town halls and the debates. She has declined the offers. In fact, the one happening on Friday that I promoted last night, she declined that one too. Very interesting. So I'm hoping that all three candidates show up for there. Man, I am really hoping for Millionaire Morales to be there. I mean, Money Morales, the money, and there's more of it. Anyway, going back to this one, if you guys remember JD Thomas, that's this guy right here. And he is a Sid Mahat supporter, and we can't have that. Listen, even Rocco's Indiana is wondering too, why is JD Thomas there? That's a good question. I don't know. Probably because he's supporting Sid. Yeah, that guy. Yeah. Anyway, all right. Speaking of weirdos and what happened at the Democrat JD convention, wants to be in the club. Oh, for sure, John. For sure. I mean, listen, he is just like squeezing at the establishment udder right now, just trying to get some of that juice. Just give it to me, is what he's saying. So the amount of shilling that Bo Bai is going to get from the media in the establishment is going to be on levels that we have never seen before. Bo Bai has every right to feel a bit angsty right now. Then he says at age 30, what do you say? My back hurts. I'm turning 30, running for office and practicing law, and that's all been exciting and sometimes stressful, but overall pretty positive. Dude has had a golden road since he was born. And the fact that they're like pushing this so hard shows how fake it is. And what I'm mostly pissed off about are all the journalists and all the pundits that are giving him softballs right now. I really wanted Rob to go hardcore on him. Hopefully he will in the future, because at this point, if I were to ever interview him, he would get flustered more than that whole Epstein question that he had a couple of weeks ago. And by the way, everybody is reading through it right now. Everybody's reading through the coverage that he's getting and calling bullshit on him. Where does he love? Angsty, dread, or intimidated? A, B, C, or D, all above. The multiple choice answer is D. I don't know who that brought us. He will make it. No, he won't. No way will I vote for another Bobin. Blah. I'm thrilled to see a young man continue. Why is his backhoe from doing all the paperwork sitting in a chair? What's he handing out for free? Let's see. My life is so hard as a 30-year-old cis white male in Indiana. Oh man. So he must. I'll tell you what. A couple hours ago, they must be deleting comments right now. Wow, bias much, because all the comments were mogging him the entire time. Yeah, the glazing is embarrassing for sure. Do we want our elections run like California? No, thanks. Yeah. He attended one of the most, if not the most expensive schools from primary up. Not only that, but when you look at the amount of money that was spent on the convention, and I'm talking about like when you enter to the race, you are competing in the convention. You're not competing in the actual election. I think it was like $340 a vote compared to Blythe Potter's $80 a vote. Now, what's really funny is everybody was saying, it's like, even Johnny Wallace over here said it was going to be a 3-1 that Baby Birch was going to win. And I was like, no, that's not going to happen. It's probably going to be like 60-40. If you go back to everything that I've been saying since day one, I said it's like Blythe Potter is going to make him work for it. And Blythe Potter is probably going to lose, but I think it'll be a 60-40 because there are a lot of supporters in Blythe Potter for Blythe Potter. So, Johnny Wallace over here, dipshit Abu Shabazz, he posted this picture and just got absolutely laid out in the comments. Now, if you guys can't hold on, let me see myself real quick. There's the picture. Let me delete. Boop. Will you see right here? Right there. That is a Gemini symbol, meaning that picture is AI. And if you look at the name tags, they're all in Russian. Why? Because in the AI world, they don't pick up letters that well. And so everything's all goofed up. So he just got laid out in the comments. Yeah, that's Baby Birch's little brother, a big brother. He works for the Colts. So if you look at at all the comments, Jacob Stewart, Bobi's Diary, by the way, great follow. If you're not following Bobi's Diary, it's hilarious. And that everything that I have liked right now, it is an absolute masterclass on pizzoning Johnny Wallace. Okay. And so Johnny Wallace had to go put out a reply. It was like, quick explanation. We were across the room. The shot was rough, so we ran it through an upscaler. Lesson learned. AI doesn't sharpen. It makes things up. Oh, wow. Who would have thought that AI doesn't make things, it makes things up? Who would have thought? Wow, because it's called artificial intelligence. That's how a badge rating chair's guest became Irmer M. Exenery, a fellow who does not exist. The two photos are below. You know what? All you had to do was not post fake shit. And I was like, now he's just like, oopsie, that's my bad. I guess I'll learn from it. From all the other AI photos that he's made, what are the caricatures that he's putting out, and him trying to be Superman, it's more like Duperman. He is like, oh, I didn't know AI just made stuff up. I thought it was just an upscaler. And so right here, Abdul, if you want to be considered serious, you can't publish this, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, particular photo manipulation AI. He's like, there's no up in manipulation. It was an effort to clean up the photo. Next time I'll use Photoshop. Or how about you don't use Photoshop? You just put out a real fucking picture. So this Dalton guy who's follows any reporter because he's based, says, Grok, did Abdul manipulate the original photo with AI? And he says, yes. Abdul took a rough distant photo and ran it through an AI upscaler, blah, blah, blah. He posted Vo's version. So even Grok is saying, like, yeah, it's kind of manipulated. And then all the comments are there just making fun of him too. It's so great. All right. So moving on from that, speaking of getting, I mean, he got laid out, he got mogged, he was losing it in the comments. Typical boomer Johnny Wallace stuff. But you want to know who really got taken out today, who got completely ratioed, by the way, was Indie Reporter. On this, let me update it real quick. So I have been following these pilot programs. There's 21 that got introduced. If you guys don't know what a pilot program is, a pilot in lieu of taxes. That means in this scenario, they're trying to put up low income housing. And so how do you put up low income housing? We're going to have a bunch of dense housing, aka apartments, and to keep the rent low, the apartment management people, I don't know if it's the developer or the management people, but they say as long as we don't have to pay what we would normally pay in property taxes, we will offer a lower rent. So, but rent is so high anyway, but nobody ever asked the question. Well, what is that exactly? How much is it? How much will I have to be paying? And they're going off of area median income or annual median income. I forgot which one it is. But we know that a lot of these low income, the affordable housing, they're all breeding grounds for riffraff. And exactly what we said, another apartment complex that will get a ton of police calls. Now, you're probably wondering why the language was so specific. Well, let me tell you why. It's because last night I was listening to the Indy Council meeting, which I have to go back and watch again, and Derek Cahill brought up one of these affordable housing, which I think is actually meant for homeless people, or people that are going through some shit. And they said, and he's like, well, Hannah Commons. It was Hannah Commons. And they brought up how they've had a ton of phone calls, a lot of police calls. It's like, oh, that's what's going to be happening. Because a lot of these low income people, guess what? They're riffraff. We have to remember, we live in a low trust society. We want to do things good and help people out, but there's so many people that will take advantage of it. And the same thing that happens with welfare. Hey, it's meant to help out, but then people abuse it, just like all the stuff. Do you think, and it's renters in general, not all renters, but the majority of renters have no skin in the game, so they'll just ruin it. And I got 2 renters on the side of me that ruined the house. One of them refuses to mow their front yard. I mowed one half of the yard, but they can't even mow their little 10 by 20 foot of grass. And then the other one, the Indian, decides to play his until 2 in the morning. And there's some random screaming like he's banging his head on a watermelon. So that's awesome. But let's keep going with the mogging, shall we? Let's go back with the ratio. Go over here, this dipshit Gary Snyder from the Snide Report. He goes, retweeted, or I tweeted out, what do you see happening in California is what will happen in Indiana if Bo Biden becomes Secretary of State. He goes, what, mail-in voting? All registered voters get a ballot? Count me in. Yeah, let's go have Democrats totally ruin it. Gary Snyder needs to be deported to L.A. And so, we put up the "Why are you gay" meme or the GIF, and guess what? 50 likes to his 21. Another classic ratio, of course. And then Bo Bye again. All right, I want to bring up this one last one. He gets ratioed again, 4 to 8 likes. Whitty hates neighbors. Yeah, exactly, Brad. I hate my neighbors. I hate this city. We got to nuke. We have to nuke Indianapolis. I'm telling you right now. We have to go Dr. Manhattan in Indianapolis. Just set it off in Monument Circle. We will cleanse the earth of these degens. All the same degens that put money on Jamie Rittenhauer. All right. So anyway, the Snyder Report, they keep going after Max angling about the modeling thing. I'm like, dude, that is such a nothing burger. In fact, you know what? The people that go after Max for the modeling thing is because it's ugly people. Gary, look at this fucking goofball. Look at this Rocky Road looking guy right now. And he's like, oh, well, he was a model. Yeah, because we want to put you in the well, Gary, and we're never letting you out. Okay. We're going to put you under the stairs. You're going to ask for ice cream and we're not going to give it to you. Anyway, he was saying that Max Engling was complicit in what? In Diego's corruption. Let me tell you, what is complicit? Helping to commit a crime or do wrong in some way. And this is just complete boomerish talk right here. But what do you expect from that Rocky Road looking motherfucker? All right, moving on. You don't talk about that. Let's. I'll bring this up, and then if we have time, we'll go back to this. But all right, so yeah, Max was a model. We don't claim that, Boomer. We do not claim him. Something's going on with my OBS right now. Not exactly sure. I look like a fresh pig. I look all pink and piggish, piglet-ish. I look like Piglet from Winnie the Pooh. I look all pink for some reason. Anyway, on Wikipedia, kind of diabolical, as the Zoomers would say, that Wiki struck off endorsements for Diego Morales, as in Jim Banks and Todd Rokita, but he kept in the Republicans for National Renewal, whatever that is. Actually, do they have it? Created in 2020. Who is this guy? They're out of Dover, Delaware. It's a right-wing national populist, huh? Yeah, wonderful. I don't know who these people are, but it probably doesn't mean nothing. And then Connie Lawson did it, obviously endorsed David Sheldon. And Max Sagan. Someone messaged us and said that Angling worked for a Democrat campaign like back in the early 2000s. I have a what is it called when you can't arrest somebody because it was so long ago? I have a statute of limitations when it comes to talking crap about people, or what, like Max is younger than me, I think. Infiltrators. I mean, it could be right. Like, I've done it before. I mean, plus, you have to guys remember, Democrats back in the day are different from Democrats today. As much as we like to shit on Braun for being a Democrat up until a certain point, it's like they weren't that crazy. They were like blue dog Democrats. You can get in a conversation and philosophically with them or like about policy, and it was fine because back then there weren't a whole lot of things that were different. Now it's just we love our viewers so based. What is going on right now? Is there something that I don't know? Are you doing a bot attack right now? So anyway, if someone back in 2002, we're still pretty. No, Brad, no, you're not. We should find some videos from a woman named Rosa Quire. Is that like a OnlyFans chick, or is that like a Debbie Des Dallas woman? But back then, you could have conversation with Democrats about basic policy because they all knew what a woman was. They didn't agree with cutting, even based on immigration. They were kind of all on the same page. And now everything has just gone so wacky. It's like that Elon Musk meme, where it's like, I'm still here. You guys have gone more far left, but I'm still here. I didn't want to oversell. I don't know what that means. But anyway, moving on. So Michael Paul Hart, our favorite little snake, he has threatened that they will fund freeze for the OPHS. Dude, you are one city councilor. You are 1 out of 5 Republicans on the council. You have zero power. So you trying to chest puff for everybody, saying that we're going to freeze the budget for OPHS unless they do these things is kind of ridiculous. We all know that he's trying to set himself up for mayor next year. And I'm telling you right now, you will not win because of me. I'm telling you that right now. It's not a threat. It's just the facts. So anyway, this all goes back to the audit that they had with OPHS. I watched it. There's a lot of goofy stuff. They didn't go into detail, which is what I think this is what I'm talking about on the detail. And I wish they would have gotten further on this. The audit found that several contracts were awarded to vendors with significant connections to OPH employees. Everybody that I've asked to refuses to tell me, what do you mean? Because I will go find the contract and I will connect the dots myself. That's what I want to know. Tell me the contract and I will figure out the bread trail all by myself. However, the fact that you guys have not talked about which contracts tells me that you're probably all involved somehow. And so I looked through the proposal. It's kind of vanilla. It's pretty not anything special. It's just like, hey, we need to redo the ethics stuff, which, low trust society. You would think I like how like their thing is like, well, if we have there's a one-man wrecking crew, he responsible for the $6 million raising home. It's so true. That is so true. I found the contracts. I found one of his contracts by accident, and I don't have it saved. I'd have to go back and spend the hours. I found his name was on one of the contracts of doing like a study on homeless people. It wasn't that much, but like I'm a modest guy, so $15 on McDonald's is a lot of money for me. But some fake chicken nuggies, what can I say? She blocked me too. So anyway, the it's basically like a lot of update stuff, ethics update, create a centralized system for tracking and managing contracts and invoices and blah blah blah. It's all pretty basic stuff that you should have had already. But the problem is we'd have had so many garbage OPHS directors between Rodriguez and Baratine and then Merkley. I think that that one black chick, Barentiner, Charisse Tucker Barentine, whatever her name was, I think she's by far the worst one. I mean, Merkley is kind of like a Jesse Brown guy, but I think God, what was her? Bernard Tucker, wasn't it? Yeah. I looked, it seems like a lot of the bad stuff was happening under her and Rodriguez, and they were just rubber stamping everything. But speaking of rubber stamping and taxes, let's briefly talk. We got like 10 minutes left, so I think we got plenty of time. So there was a bill that passed over the session. Hold on. Let's see if I can find it. I've talked about it in the past. And in the bill, it talks about having new revenue because what they're wanting to do is matching grants with the community crossing matching grant. Where is it? There it is. It is HB 1461. I actually made a tweet about it before. All right, so this all goes back to HB 1461, and in this bill, it says that they have to create new revenue. The appropriation required under the subsection must be a new revenue and may not include revenue allocated to public safety purposes. So they're saying, hey, you can't shift money from the public safety, fire, cops, EMS, and move it over to new revenue for roads. And they're talking about matching grants, $50 million of matching grants. And so what they're saying is like, well, we're going to have to raise the wheel tax and the excise tax. So this dipshit Andy Nielsen with the gay little socks over here. Hold on, you guys got to see the gay little socks real quick. Right here, the gay little socks right here. He puts out a video with this goofball. I don't know who he is. And by the way, I've been trying to find the video. I don't know where it's at. Tyler Mitchell, shout out Tyler Mitchell. Go make sure you give him a follow on Facebook and on Twitter. Good follow. Our road guy, basically. He's teaming up with Ethan Hatcher on reporting all the potholes. He put out a video saying, hey, we can't take away from fire, EMS, and IMPD. That's just not a good look. So what we're going to have to do is raise taxes because if we want a $50 million matching grant from the state, we're going to have to raise taxes. But there's never been anything brought up on reducing spending. That has always been my problem. It's always, hey, we have to charge money more for this thing because we can't govern any better. And so they're wanting to change it. I forgot what the actual increase was. All right, yeah. Under the proposal, the wheel tax would become a flat $240 fee, and the excise surge tax would become a flat $100 fee. So everybody I don't know if it's just Indianapolis or all of Marion County, but we're all going to have to pay more for when we get our license plates. And gay little socks, dude. Vic in the chat. I know, right? Perfect timing, Vic. Perfect timing. You know what? It's cigarette time. This is the kind of time where I have to have a little bottle of whiskey, and a little stallion burner, cigarette burner, little stallion candy heater. And I have to talk about this real quick. Because what's happening is that they are saying that we are really bad at spending money on roads. We are really bad at spending money in general. Therefore, we need more money because we have spent bad money. And this is what I mean. Back in 2025, each city councilor was allocated $1 million. I'm going to be talking shit about Andy Nielsen now because this guy is an absolute dope. He doesn't have a job. His only job is making his 30-something grand from the city council. And then I saw it appears that his wife is the breadwinner, but they live in some like $330,000 house on the east side that's in a living trust. So I think this kid is a trust fund baby, because there's no way that you can afford your mortgage on a single income from your wife, which is bananas. And by the way, yeah, so each city councilor back in 2025 had $1 million to spend. And we were trying to figure out for like the entire, I think it was either 24 or 25. Yeah, that they had $1 million to spend. And for the longest time, I was trying to figure out what everybody was spending their money on. So fast forward to Mirror Indy putting out an article, and they said, where is it? Nielsen, who represents Irvington, wants to put a pedestrian connection on the north side of Pleasant Run Parkway. What do you got? Oh boy, speaking of whiskey. He wants to put a pedestrian connection on the north side of Pleasant Run Parkway from Ritter Avenue to the bridge east of it. He also wants to make intersection improvements at Ritter Avenue and Pleasant Run Parkway. Let's find out where that is on Google Maps real quick. Right here. He wants to fix this intersection, which there's really nothing wrong with it, but he doesn't want to fix any of the roads. All that $1 million, what I would do with it is fix like the biggest section that I could find that needs it. Rob Trickle in the chat. Let's go, boys. We're so back. But last year, or this session, Andy Nielsen spoke in part of 1461. Yeah. And because he was against because of the new revenue that they would have to find. Dude, I'm getting like pinker by the second. It's kind of weird. So he went and he spoke in front of Jim Pressel in the Roads and Transportation Committee. And in my opinion, this is a punishment, a consequence because of the $25 million that were given to each city councilor. And even back in 25, Liz Brown, they were talking about 1461, I think. Hold on. Actually, how much time? Oh, we got plenty of time. I want to bring this up because Liz Brown was basically gave Indy the middle finger. Damn it. I think it was 1461. Let me put it on because they were Liz Brown was talking about it, and she was like, "Oh, here it is." Yeah, yesterday the road funding is being discussed. Jim Pressel is trying to fix the Marion County road funding, and Liz Brown says, "Is that our problem to solve?" She points out that Indy Marion County isn't well governed. So and you guys got to remember, everybody in the State House does not like Marion County because of how shitty it has been run. I'll give you another example because this was brought up during the committee meeting that I was talking about. Jim Pressel was like, hey, that $25 million, rumors are rumors, but I'm told that a couple of individuals on the council actually paved roads going to their house. One member paved a street going to his office. I personally take offense to that because of all the pains we went through in HB 1460 West. And yes, Ducky, I completely agree. And it was like, you know why they're having to create new revenue? Because you keep spending it on dumb stuff. We give you a chance to do the right thing. And then what do? Allegedly, one member paved a street going to his office. You guys are supposed to be fixing all the roads. Now, I think it was part of 1461, but there in the bill, it says you have to have an asset management, which means you can't just pick and choose the roads that you want to fix. You have to fix the ones that are most dire need of getting fixed. The scope of Indiana politics so destroyed being a reporter. Yeah, hey, based, yeah. So now, because of that, they're saying we were going to have to create a new revenue. Now, funny enough, Josh Bain, speaking of Rob Kendall, Josh Bain went on Rob Kendall's show and said, hey, we actually don't have to do this. We have to find new revenue, but we don't have to take it out of the fire, the EMS, the IMPD. These are all fear-mongering tactics, by the way, for low IQ people. They're just like, hey, you know what? We just need to tax you more. And so, oh, fireworks are going off. Wonderful. Actual fireworks, not gunshots. And so I also want to bring this video that I was talking about. I can't find it anywhere. And this is what I mean about transparency, that the city councilors have zero. And I mean by like everybody, except for maybe Michael Paul Hart, take it from the Bears. Yeah, that's so true. That's what I mean. Like we can offer them billions of dollars of tax incentives, but we can't fix their roads. Now, there is some argument on like, well, we don't get our fair share, but I consider that loser talk. Listen, everybody in the chat right now, we all have to stretch our dollar, right? So there is no difference that they shouldn't have to stretch our dollars. No, let's do taxpayer-funded yoga classes. Let's spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on lobbyists. Let's spend $1.5 million on armed security for election areas. You know, it's all this ridiculous crap that we spend our money on, and we still can't figure this out. Yeah, John, I'm going to put you in charge of BNS. We're getting rid of that fat chick over there. That grumpy broad. So anyway, I can't find it on his Twitter and I can't find it on his Facebook. There's the transparency, but this is what I wanted to point out. The ethics disclosure forms, we can find out what he does. And on here, it shows his job is working for the city of Indianapolis, and he gets paid like $35,000 a year, I think, or 33, something like that. So I decided to look him up on LinkedIn. He was like a policy guy for the Indiana Community Action Poverty Institute. He was a financial coach. Hey, guess what? Don't spend the money you don't have. Give me money now. There's your coaching for the day. But is that rain? Holy shit. Yeah, it sucks for the people that were blowing off fireworks. So anyway, yeah, that's basically what I wanted to point out. And obviously his wife is the breadwinner. I don't want to throw her into this. I thought about it, but listen, I'm the villain in all this, but I'm not a monster. And I thought about throwing her in, not like actually throwing into this, but just saying it's like, how is this guy has no job, makes $30,000 a year. His wife appears to make like $180,000, probably closer to $200,000. And so you have a bunch of money. You guys obviously come from a lot of money where you think that the plebs like us are saying, well, you need to give us more money because we've been so garbage at spending it. Hey, pleb, I'm Andy Nielsen right now. Hey, pleb, give me more money so I can spend it on gay shit. And then your roads will still be garbage. That's exactly what it is. This guy does not have has zero connection to the value of a dollar. He's been spoon-fed his entire life. He's had a golden path, just like Baby Birch. He has no idea what it feels like to have to stretch a dollar or not eat dinner, even though he looks like he has AIDS. So there it is, 8:54. Okay, one more minute. One more. You know, everybody talks about Ballard and how crime was going down, or like how there was low crime under Ballard. I hate to break it to you guys, but crime was actually going up under Ballard. Hogshead just threw the napalm on the fire, or the gas on the fire. And even right here, this is back in 2015. Why is Indy seeing a spike in crime? City's next police chief breaks it down, and they're all going to say, oh, it's mental health and poverty. Really? Because I was homeless, all right? I was homeless, and it sucked. But never in my mind did I go, hey, you know what? I'm going to go rob somebody. Never, because I was smart enough to do that. I had one more. Oh, yeah, and the other thing, I know we keep talking about housing, and I keep wondering, like, how do all these Indians and like Haitians have like $300,000 homes and they're buying $100,000 Mercedes? Well, come to find out, illegals were getting 2% interest rate via FHA loans with 0% down. Not only that, but they were also getting housing assistance on top of that because they weren't working. How crazy is that? And so you're bringing also the migration with the people. So if you're getting housing assistance on one person, you're getting it with like 30 different people all in the same house as well. That's why all these Indians are living in the one spot, because they're all collecting their shekels and they're living in 200, having their $100,000 cars and their $500,000 homes. So they got the color lines for whatever, the purple line, don't forget. Yeah. Anyway, That's about all I got for this week. It was just basically me ranting and pointing out all the obvious. We're mogging people. We're trolling people. We're ratioing people. I'm showing you all the data as usual. So on the Mouthwash Show, we're going to have Andrew Horning, who has disavowed the Libertarian Party. We have Jason Borka. We have Jay Hart, who's definitely going to spurg out about Jim Banks. So don't worry about that. Oh, speaking of Jim Banks, remember that guy? Jim Banks guy. So, and who else is going to be on there? Tiffany, I think. And yeah, I think that's it. Anyway, be sure to check me out on Saturday. I was planning on going downtown on Saturday night, but then it started raining and I didn't. So maybe this Saturday. And we're only 2 weeks away from the convention, so be sure to watch out on that because there's going to be some fireworks. Hey, surprise, there's going to be some fireworks. All right, with that being said, you guys have a great night. Stay cool, stay safe. Check out Mouthwash. That's next. Love you guys. Bye.